dried fruit and some cashews. I'd love to share with you right now.
Hey, Rick's good. All good. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Thursday's pop-up special call here. Peter Ganner, Corey Moran here. Today, guys, we're going to cover, welcome to the Nexus ecosystem, by the way. Things are fantastic in the ecosystem. The air is clear, green, ready to go. And today we're going to cover a few different things, including, but not limited to, NFTs and GameFi, and what we have going on. So if you do have questions, please let us know in the Zoom. I'm keeping an eye on YouTube, and make sure you guys hit the like button if you're out there on YouTube. If you're on the Zoom, please go out to YouTube and check us out and hit the like button. Make sure you guys subscribe, because we are doing lots of informational, educational, and exciting updates and news and all things the Nexus ecosystem. So we appreciate you guys subscribing and liking. And I'm going to pass it over to Mr. Peter Ganner.
Hey everybody, awesome to be here. First, I want to jump into and we'll just do a little house cleaning here. SAFU-fied airdrops for people that held True Badger tokens through the 5 airdrops. They are available. You can go and claim those right now through Catapult Swap. There's already videos out there to show you how to do it. I'm not going to show you how to do it. Of course, NSI has been out there for you to claim those. For the people that attended the event or the streaming, we're close to having the software done for that. So that should probably be, I would say, in the next 7 days, you'll be able to start claiming SAFU-fied tokens and NSI tokens for being at the event, as well as we'll be sending out or the True Badger claim as well for the prizes that we gave out, the rewards for being there online. So all that stuff is coming up closely here. We'll get that all done before the end of the year. And of course, then the CNP Catapult ones will wait until those launch. And we're working on some great designs for some NFTs that people will get for that have attended that as well. So that's all some neat stuff that we've got going on. I got to tell you, so when you look at the Nexus ecosystem and what we're doing with True Badger, Catapult, Insight, SAFU-fied, and CNP, those are all projects that are used to launch other projects. So now what we're doing is we're talking with other projects to work with them to get involved. And right now we're at about maybe 4 to 6 projects, somewhere in there, different levels of things. And some of those projects, of course, will include NFTs. NFTs are non-fungible tokens, meaning that it's not necessarily a token. And there's 2 different types of NFTs, and that's what we're going to cover today. And then we're going to talk a little bit about GameFi, because we are actively pursuing opportunities in the GameFi space, and we're going to talk about that. Now, some of you guys might be going, oh, no, that video games, I don't touch those. That's okay. Because the neat part is there's lots of people out there that do. And I was actually just listening to a report that said in the next 3 to 5 years, there could be more millionaires created that are sub 20 years old than ever in the history of time. So like 18, 19, 17, 16, 15-year-old millionaires because of what's coming up in GameFi. Now, some of you guys might be going, well, that's great. I'm not 16 or 18 or 17, and I'm not into gaming. But one of the concepts that we're looking at doing is the possibility of putting together mechanisms for people like us, because I'm not a gamer either, guys. It's not something that I want to do anymore. Back in the day, I played a little Pong and, even got on, and started playing. And I kind of swore off video games when early on in my marriage, I would say goodnight to my wife and I'd do some work and let me play the game, and I'd start playing at like 9 or 10 o'clock at night. And then all of a sudden I feel somebody peering over my shoulder, like somebody was watching me. And I turn around, it's my wife, and I'm thinking, why is she up at 2 o'clock in the morning? She was not up at 2 o'clock in the morning. It was 7 o'clock in the morning. And I had spent the entire night trying to chase some ghouls down or try to pass some level or do something crazy. So I thought, well, that's not very productive. I'm not going to be able to change the world and create value in people's lives by doing that. So we said no more video games, and we kind of left that part of life there. But I know, especially this younger generation, it's a part of it's what they love to do. It's what they enjoy to do. Matter of fact, the crazy thing is like my daughters will play games with their boyfriends, right? So, the guys like to play games. So I think a lot of the girls are like, they like to do it. So we'll do it, right, with them. And I'm not trying to be, male chauvinist here or anything like that. It's just what I notice, right? So don't throw rocks at me. Don't ban me. Don't do any of that stuff, right? I just go on my relationship on how I see it, right? Okay, so let's jump back into NFTs. So NFTs, non-fungible tokens. There's two different types of NFTs. There's financial NFTs, and then there's entertainment or collectible NFTs, right? And then there's the combination of the two together, where you take a collectible art-based NFT and then you put a financial mechanism behind it. The world is changing. It's DeFi, and now they've come up with what's called GameFi. It's game and finance. And I'm here to tell you guys, there will be hundreds of billions of dollars in GameFi, right? Hundreds of billions of dollars that will be generated on a yearly basis. The video game industry is going to have to move into this game finance space where NFTs will take a place in the game where you'll need them to play the game. You'll need them to create more NFTs. You'll need them to get from one level to the next. And so part of the side of this, where the finance side comes into it, if there's something that I need to get past a level, then that thing has value to it, depending on how badly I want to get past that level or earn something or do something. So the people who hold those then would have something that's increasing in value. But imagine that you didn't sell that asset. Imagine that you actually lent it to someone and they used it to get past the level and then gave it back to you, right? In a digital sense, and then paid you to do that. Imagine that you hired somebody and partnered with them and they played the game and you held the asset. These are the types of things that we're starting to look at. Where now, here's the neat part is, if you're doing this in some games, no kidding around, guys. Some of these NFTs, because the way they play in the games, will be worth $50, $100, $200, $300, $400, $500,000, right? Most of us don't have that kind of money laying around to put into it. So how will you have to acquire those? Find the games early and get them when that NFT is $100 or $200 or $300. Let the game develop, and then over time, it starts to go up in value. And now all of a sudden you have, let's say, a $500,000 game token, NFT, that you can lend out to somebody for maybe $1,000 for them to go do something in the game and get something, or to create new ones. One of the neat things that they're doing is there's what are called Genesis NFTs and then non-Genesis NFTs. The Genesis NFTs are the ones that create the regular NFTs, but you have to do that by playing the game. Oh, let's say it took 40 hours of play time or accomplishing a certain amount to create an NFT. I don't want to sit there and create 40 hours of play time for an NFT. So I would partner with a young person who loves to play games, or maybe there's older people that do as well. And they would play the game. So somebody, I'm going to change it from young person to somebody who loves to play games, right? They would play the game for the 40 hours. The NFT would be created, and then that would be sold to somebody who wants it in the game for $100, $200, $500, $1,000, whatever it is. And then the person played the game, and the person who owned the Genesis NFT would then share together and put that together. So we're going to start getting into the NFT space. There are phenomenal examples, guys, of returns. And I'm going to tell you this, and I know a lot of you guys will be like, what? Yeah. In 2018, Lava Labs put out an NFT. You could have minted that NFT for 11 cents. And today, guys, that NFT would have made you more money than if you would have bought 5 Bitcoin at 11 cents a Bitcoin, right? Or for 11 cents. It literally is that much, because there's only 10,000 of them. These things are selling for, the average right now is selling for about $300,000. That's the average. But some of these have sold for $5, $6, $7 million. Now imagine minting something for 11 cents, and now it's worth $7 million or $6 million. And we're not talking about 1,000 years from now, right? You look at a painting maybe by Michelangelo and those, and you say, wow, they go for $100 million. That's a lot of money. But that's something that was painted quite some time ago. Here you have something that was minted in 2018, 3 years ago. And you could pay a gas fee and claim it. That's how you minted it. 11 cents gas fee was the average gas fee at that time. And you would hold that thing that right now could be selling for a minimum of about probably 100,000, 200,000, but as much as $7, $8, $9 million. This is the world that we live in. And this is the part that we're going to, now there's one that was sooner than that. It actually just came out 11 months ago, called the Bored Ape Yacht Club. Those are selling for about 50 ETH average. That's the going price for one, which is about $200,000. And that was just produced about 10, 11 months ago. Now, so there's two really super successful ones. Both of these are standalone NFTs. They are not in the GameFi space. So if I look at that and said, wait a minute, two NFTs were born that are standalone NFTs that are getting that kind of money. And of course, we've all seen the NFT by Beeple, right? Beeple produced a piece of artwork every single day for X amount of time. He took those and made a collage out of them and sold that for $69 million. And I know what most of you guys are thinking out there. I wouldn't buy that. There's no way. Either would I. Right? I wouldn't either. But if I could have minted, and I'll be honest with you, the artwork for the CryptoPunks, it's got to be the stupidest looking artwork I've ever seen in my life. I mean, really, to me, being somebody who's done like Pogs and all the other stuff that I've done, I sit down and I look at this artwork that people are selling in these NFTs. The Bored Ape Yacht Club looks like something that would have been done for Mad Magazine, and I could have bought an issue for $1 or whatever, right? The magazine itself, read the magazine and threw it away, right? It's like some card I would have pulled out of the magazine, right? They give you 6 free cards in the magazine. That's what they look like. But it doesn't matter about that part of it. Here is, and we've talked about this before, why Nexus ecosystem, why our projects? Because community is power. And the community, it's like the Bored Ape Yacht Club and CryptoPunks, it's a status symbol to have those, to be part of an elite group of NFT holders. And so it's that community aspect of it. It's that limited edition type stuff that are driving these, which means what? If we're a community, okay, there's not going to be 10,000 NFT projects where the NFTs are selling for 200, 300,000, 500,000, $1 million, right? There'll be a small group of them. There's 2 right now. There's some other ones that might be coming up here. There are going to be small groups of them. A community that comes together for a common purpose and that understands hodling, that understands being able to share and drive, being able to understand growing the community, bringing more people into the community through the onboarding system. They would have the opportunity and the chance to possibly create the next Bored Yacht Club or the next, and I would say CryptoPunks, but not necessarily, because CryptoPunks was the first to do what they did. And so they do have it's like Bitcoin. Bitcoin has the advantage of being the coin, right? The original. Everything else is an altcoin. CryptoPunks has the distinct thing of being a project where they said, hey, let's try to create 10,000 pieces of artwork. We'll put them out there. We'll see. 10 months ago, you could have bought a CryptoPunk for a few $1,000, $9,000, $10,000, $11,000. And you would have thought, wow, you're overpaying for it. And come to find out, it's gone up 50x from there, some 80, 90x. So, but we do have the capability. The same thing with GameFi. There are going to be a lot of games coming out. The big game companies are going to jump into GameFi that already have audiences. But when you look at it from the mechanism of how do we take advantage of that? How do we participate? We buy ourselves. I might get lucky and I might buy the next NFT that goes up, or I might get involved in the next GameFi game that takes off. Or we as a community can say, you know what, we're in this together. The thousands of us can come together, and soon 10,000, soon 100,000. I want you guys to begin to understand the power of community with the Nexus ecosystem. It's not just happen to be, hey, I'm part of it, so I benefit from it. It's we're together on this. And by being together, we have a higher probability of being able to find a game, launch it, and get it to be one of the top 10, top 50 games, top 20 games where the NFT and it's worth $5,000, $10,000, or be one of the one or two that maybe it's worth $100,000 or $200,000 because we've come together. So now what we need to do is find the project, find the team, bring it to you guys, and we all get behind it and we drive it, right? And we move it and we make it happen. That's what we're already doing with Insights. Insights is decentralized trading, guys. When you're out there talking to people and they say, what is Insights? Yeah, it gives you information on projects, to help you have the information to pick the right project. But once you pick the right project, then it allows you to trade on a decentralized platform in a decentralized way for an auto trading situation. I have to set up the trade. I have to decide what trade I want to make. I have to set my percentage. But at the end of the day, in a decentralized fashion, I'm going to send my crypto, not to a person, but to a contract. And that contract is going to execute on a decentralized exchange. There may be other projects doing this. I don't know of them, but we are on the cutting edge, one of the early adopters in this space of decentralized trading that allows you to execute sales of tokens when they hit certain percentages in a decentralized fashion. Not in a centralized, you can do it all day long, right? You can go set sell orders, and there's bots and stuff that work in the decentralized space. This is in decentralized, and it's a decentralized fashion. So NFTs, GameFi. GameFi is simply games. Now, there has already been digital collectibles that have existed for a long time. And actually, some of the games had digital gold where people would mine it. The problem is it's not on a blockchain. These are all held on centralized servers, which means what? People can knock them off, create computer programs, insert them in there and make fake ones. There's no way to audit realistically the word's going to pop in my head here in a second, in a trusted way, right? In a, to know how many actually exist, right? Because it's in a centralized atmosphere. Transparency, that's the word I was looking for. So there's no transparency. In the blockchain, it's transparent. So somebody asked, why does on one of the forums, why do CryptoPunks have the value they have? Because they could go grab a screenshot of the CryptoPunk and they could put it as their Facebook image for their thing, because that's not the real one. And the way we know that is we can look behind the real one and we can see how it's because it's on the blockchain. There's an address there. There's the technology. We know the real CryptoPunk, and there's only one of that one CryptoPunk. There's not 10, there's not 20. So other people can use the image, but they can't own the actual physical one that it belongs to. And so that is the reason why the value is there, because it can be guaranteed that it is the original. We've all seen it on what's the Pawn Stars, right? Where that guy comes in and he brings the item in, or the lady, right? Somebody brings in an item and they have the expert come in that verifies the signature or verifies that it's real, because there's no documentation. In the blockchain, that's not necessary. Anybody can go to the chain, look at the code, and see whether it's the real one or not the real one when it's put together. So that's the reason why GameFi is going to be so big, because again, if I could own an asset, land, who would have thought? Come on, guys. If I would have said 18 months ago, listen, buy this piece of digital land and Decentraland, you could be rich owning a piece of digital property. How many of you guys put a 1 in the chat if you would have told me I was crazy? Right? Absolutely everybody I know is putting a 1, and I can't see it right now, but I got to tell you, there's a lot of 1s going in, because there's no way that I would have thought buying a piece of digital land would ever create any type of value in this world. But it does, because again, we're not looking at it as, what would Brenda or Rick or Mike or Carl or Carol, Bob, Nancy, it doesn't matter. What would we want? No, it's what does the younger generation want? What is the world going to look like in the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years? That's what visionaries do. So if you think about it, when Mark Zuckerberg created Facebook and created the social media, would you have thought at that time that there'd be billion people or more on social media and that it would be such a big part of our lives? No. Computers before that, Steve Jobs in his garage. First of all, what do I need a computer in my house for? I have a calculator, right? And then other people be like, what do I need a computer for? I have fingers. I can count on my fingers, right? Who would have known that at some point we'd be doing a broadcast from my desk at my office in Arizona, essentially around the world? Visionary people that don't look at what matters only to them, but what they're able to see what matters to the world. Those are the people that build wealth. Those are the people that set themselves up financially. And that's what we're doing right now. I'm not looking at what the blockchain is doing today. What excites me is what is the blockchain going to do in 5, 10, 15, 20 years? I'll tell you something right now. In the next, and I don't know the time frame, but all voting, whether it's state, local, it does not matter, in time will be done on blockchains. All voting, all contests will be done on the blockchain. You guys remember, so I did a Happy Meal. I don't know if you guys know, but I put 60 million of one of my toys, which is like the Academy Award of the toy industry, right? I mean, to say it's like being an actor and you win an Academy Award, having your toy in a Happy Meal is like huge, right? It's big stuff because, Mattel has so many spaces. Disney had so many spaces. I mean, it was locked up. There was like 3 or 4 times a year where they would leave them open for things like when Beanie Babies came up and stuff like that. So to get one of those spots is huge. We got one of those spots, and it was working with the company that created the Happy Meal. Well, they had a scandal that killed the entire company. It was with the Monopoly game. And one of the people that worked at the Simon Marketing was taking the cards, and he was holding them back, and he was giving them to family members to then go claim the $500,000. This is the stuff that doesn't happen in blockchain. There is no let me give it to you, because you can see on chain what is happening and what is going on. The value of the blockchain is huge. It's going to change the gaming industry. Now think about this. How many games out there do you think do over $1 billion a year in revenue? I want to get the number. I don't know what it is, but it's hundreds of games. We would think, oh, there's only probably a couple. No, there are lots of games that produce over $1 billion a year in revenue. Think about that moving into blockchain, into the crypto world. They all need the tools and the security. Wait a minute, I'm getting all these expensive NFTs that are worth a fortune. Do you think that somebody can't hack a wallet and steal an NFT just the same way they steal crypto? Oh, wait, we need safes where it takes multiple signatures in order to get it going. Wait a minute. People are going to need to trade these NFTs, right? Eventually. An open marketplace. Oh, maybe NSI could do that. All the world being tokenized. If you think about it right now, we go, oh, there's a lot of projects. There's 15,000 crypto projects alone on CoinMarketCap. How many businesses are there in the world? Millions. Millions of businesses, probably tens of millions of businesses around the globe. All of those businesses at some point will touch the crypto space, this what we're building and where we're putting together. So NFTs and GameFis, guys, we're going to be starting to look at that. Start to do a little. So we're a community here. Start to do a little homework. If you find something that's interesting, drop it in the Telegram for us, or send us a message on it saying, hey, I found this neat game. I found an avenue to market it, to get it out there, to be a part of it. Remember, you're part of this community. The higher the market caps go up on True Badger, Insights, StatFuFied, the more people we build into the community by the time we launch Catapult and CNP and Star. Better stop. The next project that we're launching, or the green energy project that we're looking at, or other NFT projects that we're looking at, when you start to look and you think about it, the bigger we build the community today, the bigger the projects will be coming out of the gate, and the more secure they become. I think one of the amazing things about this is there's not a pie. Here's the pie. We have to divide this pie up between all of us, because these are networks, groups of people coming together for a common purpose, meaning the more holders you have, the better off it is. So we have 9,000 something holders of True Badger. That's great. But imagine being a Safe Moon and having over 2 million holders, right? Think about where we'd be if we had 2 million holders. Think about the value of your wallet with True Badger, NSI, StatFuFied. This is what we're talking about. We cannot do it on our own, guys. We need community. Community is the important part about it. And I mentioned this before, and a few people picked up on this. The bigger our community gets, the more influential we become, the better projects we get. We're starting to talk to a few companies that are already doing tens of millions of dollars in revenue a year that are talking to us about helping them tokenize and bring it into their business. I want businesses that are doing $1 billion a year going, oh, we're getting ready to launch a token. So here I'm gonna give you guys a scenario. Boardroom, major company. Hey guys, we're ready. We need to get in the token space. We're a little late. We could buy somebody. Oh wait, that doesn't work. There's nobody for us to buy. All right, let's go find the top company to help us get into the token space or NFT space as fast as possible. And they assign it to somebody that works at the place. Do we want to be the place they pick? Do we want them to come back and go, well, there's a dozen places we can go to? Or do we want them to come back and say, listen, there's about a dozen places that do this, but there's one that is the best. Absolutely, this is the one we want. And that is the Nexus ecosystem. They have True Badger and Catapult and Insights and StatFuFied and the community NFT project, and they've launched project after project after project. They've had success after success after success. And the great part about it is their community, when they get the tokens, hold like no other community out there. Yeah, they'll sell a little here and there, and they'll do stuff. And, oh yeah, I need $100 for this, or need to put a little here, because there's volume there. We are the balance. We are the best. We don't have people that jump in and just sell all their stuff and move on and go try to put it into, Cat Girl, or what was the one I just saw? What is it? Komi Inu or something, or Gumi Emu, or Kami Kumi Kami. What is it?
I think you said Cheminu or Chemi
Inu. Oh my goodness. Let's go get into some Chemi Inu, right? Anyway. So again, when we sit down and we look at and we're moving this thing forward, guys, the quality of our community is going to represent. That's why we're going to build algorithms. We're going to be ways that say, if you're a great community member, we want you in as early and as best position as possible. If you're just here to make some quick money, you can get involved in the project, but you're going to get in pancake swap phase, not in the earlier phases. It is our goal to pick the best community members to participate in the best way to build the best projects possible. That is you looking at a project. If I look at a project, let's say CNP, and I go, I don't believe in that project. Don't put your money in it. Don't put your crypto in something you do not believe in. It doesn't do us any good. As a matter of fact, you're pulling away from it, because that's the one, if you don't believe in it, that you'll just say, I'll just grab my quick money and I'll run. No, find the projects that you love, find the projects that you believe in, and those are the ones you should support. So we got about 20 minutes here. Let's open it up for some questions. I think we got one question in the Q&A. So if you have a question, you can put in. Peter had some questions on SAFUFIed revenue generation. Can you please cover today, please, on bar? So a great question. So safes are free, guys, for people to participate in it, right? That is a service that we give away to get people on. So how are we going to generate money from SAFUFIed? Several ways. One is we're looking at doing trustless escrow, where it will handle escrow services for people down the road. One is multiple person asset purchases, where 10 or 20 people, there will be fees based on that. We will get a percentage of those transactions when they happen. There is also, imagine having your tokens in your safe protected, but yet you could leverage those and use those in a DeFi mechanism to earn rewards like staking, farming, liquidity, who knows, right? Earn interest on those. So these are other things. Some of the other revenues are projects. So projects are going to come to SAFUFIed. We are going to have it where, and I want you guys to understand this, when people renounce ownership of a contract, they're saying, you don't have to trust us. We can't make changes to the contract. And so they renounce ownership. Problem happens, project destroyed. Or advancements in contracts come along and they can't advance. They have to restart over again and reissue a new token. SAFUFIed's original intent was we can set up multi-sig wallets on the deployer wallet and on the contract wallet. And now it takes multiple people to sign off to make a change. So you can still make a change, but it's done by multiple people. They will pay for that service. They will also, to manage and run their DAOs, they will pay money to SAFUFIed to monthly because we're building the software for people to vote. So instead of them building their own voting software and having to maintain it and do it, they will come to us and say, we form our DAO through SAFUFIed. And then, so the DAO is formed through SAFUFIed, and then the voting mechanism takes place on SAFUFIed for them to vote for their project, right? So and they will pay money, a monthly fee, an initial fee and a monthly fee for us to help them maintain the software and do it. So that's another revenue source there. As well, when projects set up multi-sig wallets, there will be a fee, just like if I go to DEX sales and I lock my wallet, there's a fee to that for the project. You pay 0.2, 0.3 BNB for every wallet that you lock. To manage those wallets for the projects, there will be fees on that as well. So there's lots of ways, and you'll be able to use SAFUFIed. The projects will use SAFUFIed to pay those bills. So I can pay in BNB, or I can pay in SAFUFIed tokens. SAFUFIed tokens, I'm going to get a discount if I use those to pay. We'll also be heading to other chains to produce these projects and this stuff for the other chains. The other side too is you guys see our apps in the back. We have 3 of them right now. We're going to add some other ones here in time that allow the projects will pay for us to build that app to eliminate the tax. So their people who are with their tax tokens can still protect their tokens with it. There'll be profit in there. So there's lots of different revenue sources for the for SAFUFIed for us to build revenue there. Let's see, what do we got here? When will the APIs be available for Digi? Carol, I don't know the answer to that question. That would be best to jump on with the Digi team and they'll get you the answers there for that. I try to stay in my lane, and that's with True Badger and SAFUFIed, really, even Insights. That's, Doug's running that. So Doug would get you guys the answer on Insights in that and Digi both on that side of it. So
I put a couple of questions in the chat for you, buddy.
Oh, you did?
In the Zoom chat.
Oh, let's see. Did you mention before that Solana will be token used to buy into an upcoming project? Possibly Solana or Polygon. Those are the two that we're looking at. Look, I don't think you can get hurt if you bought just a little Solano now. It was down about $150. Buying a couple Solanos might be good to do while the price is down. Okay. Do we know what the APY on Safufied staking will be? We're getting close there, guys. So here's the thing. The tokenomics has a part of the tax goes towards the staking reward. That's where it will come from. But what I did is we took an initial group of tokens. So in the beginning, the APY will be what's coming in off of the token, which is, that'll vary, right? It'll go up and down. And then we have a pile of tokens sitting here that we put aside to pay additional. So it's going to be the staking percentage and then a set bonus on top of that until that pool gets depleted. And then it will go to straight that percentage, which will be a variable percentage, right? Because whatever comes in the pool will be split between all the stakers on a a daily basis type thing. So that's kind of the idea there. I don't know if I don't think Dawn's with us to give us a staking update, but I would think staking we're probably maybe a week away. We're a little behind on it. We thought we'd be able to get it done in about 2 weeks, but it looks like about 3 weeks for us to get that done. As soon as staking is done, guys, we will have a webinar just on staking Safufied, and then we'll get that information to you guys. Okay. All right. Another question on Digi. Guys, Doug will have the answer to that. You'll have to get that from Doug on that. All right. And he'll do another call with you guys next Tuesday. So I would definitely, and I'll let him know. I'll ask him that question, and maybe he can get it over to Bart, and then Bart can relay that in the PTR on the message board. So if we can do that, if we can make a note there, Corey, to see if Doug can give them an update, a timeline on that. Oh, Saturday morning, 7 a.m. PST is a great time to get on with Doug to ask that question. So it's only 2 days away. Yes. Not even 2 days, day and a half. All right. Thank you. Perfect. Thanks, Bart. All right. So any other questions, guys? Why don't you guys, and you can put it in the chat, you can do it. What are some thoughts you guys right now on True Badger? What are your thoughts on Safufied? What are your thoughts on Insights? Why don't you give us some feedback here, guys?
Peter, is there an order of launches for Q1? For example, Catapult, then Outside Project, then CNP, then?
No, not now, guys. Not yet. We're working on some legal stuff and putting some stuff together. So that'll really be the determining factor there. And we don't have any. When we do, we'll get it out to you guys. You guys will be the first to know, right, of what we're doing. We want to. So the more notice we give you guys of when projects are coming out, when they're going to launch, the better it is for us as well, because then you're not panicked and you're not trying to, I want to put some money in, but what do I do? And then I'll sell some of my True Badger. I'll sell some of my Insights. I'll sell some of my Safufied. So we want to give you guys as much time as possible, but we also want to make sure that we can deliver and that the time frames are right. So right now, as it speaks, the next thing that we will be doing is an NFT project. I don't have the dates on it yet. We'll get it to you guys as soon as we do. But before we launch another token, we'll actually release an NFT project. And then after the NFT project, then the token will come.
Somebody asked, with Safe Wallet in place now, does it now mean that Safest True Badger NSI stored in MetaMask should be transferred to Safe Wallet without further delay?
Say that again, buddy.
I would. They're basically asking if should they move their True Badger NSI Safest into the Safe.
Oh yeah, absolutely, definitely. Yeah, you want to protect it, guys. Well, and we're building a calculator right now that'll show how much assets we have on an ongoing basis that are in safes. So, you know, like $1 million protected, $5 million protected, 10, 20, $1 billion protected. That'll be going up on the site of how much is being protected by it. Yes. Yes. Oh, by the way, guys, yeah, some people are asking, when would it show the value of your tokens in the safes? It is now, right? So some people are saying, hey, I actually went in just earlier and boom, it told me what the value of my True Badger were and what the tokens are there. So that is functioning and working as we speak. Yep.
Will there be a minimum amount to participate in staking?
You know, I would say that there's probably, I don't think there'll be a minimum amount, but I think there'll be a minimum amount that's worth doing, right? So that's what I would say, you know, because of, you know, again, there's always fees, right? You got to transfer in, you're going to have to collect your stake. So all the staking that I do, guys, I have to go collect it. When I do, I have to go on the Binance Smart Chain to collect that. And that's, you know, could be 14, 20, 23, 24 cents. So if you're staking a small amount and it's going to take 6 months to get, you know, $1 or $2 there, you're probably not going to want to do that. So I don't think there'll be a minimum amount. However, there'll be a minimum amount that'll make it worthwhile for you to stake. And that'll be APY versus the amount. And then, of course, it's on the Binance Smart Chain. So we know fees are, you know, anywhere from 14 cents to $1, essentially, right? And more than likely in the 14, 20, 22, 28 cents range.
The other day, you said something about NFT for folks who were at Vegas. Does this include those that streamed it?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, streaming.
Yeah,
yes.
We announced that at the event that there'll be one for people that streamed. Yep. Sure is. Like I said, the claim center will be built there for you to claim the tokens, all that stuff. Anything that had to do with the event should be done in the next week. And then you'll be able to start claiming what's available to be claimed right now. When will the mobile version of SaFuFi be ready? I'm doing everything on an Android tablet. Tim, I don't know yet. We're getting close. You know, building apps takes usually about 6 to 8 weeks, 10 weeks, depending on the complexity. What we're trying to do right now is make it mobile friendly. We have two teams. One team is working on the app, and then another team is working on making it mobile friendly. I think we're close to the mobile friendly one, maybe in the next week or so. And then the apps would be probably, I would say, still a couple months out for those to be completed and tested. Remember, not only do you have to build them, but then you have to build them and test it and go through all that stuff. So I would say for an actual physical app, probably a couple of months. But for something that's mobile friendly, I think we're probably about a week out. Someone's asking, is there a deadline for the tokens to claim for True Badger, for Insights and SaFuFi? And the answer is no, there's not a deadline on it that we've put on it. So you can claim them. You know, right now, let's say you only had $50 with a True Badger and you only caught one or two of the, you know, your tokens might only be worth 70, 80 cents right now. Might not be worth spending the tax. You can leave them there. And then True Badger goes to 300 million, and then it goes to 3 billion, and then it goes to $30 billion. And now you take your 70 cents and you put a couple zeros on it, and all of a sudden your 70 cents is worth $7, $70, $700. Then you're like, oh, well, now it's worth it for me to pay that gas fee and get that done. So you can leave them there and they're perfectly safe. And they are getting reflection. So slowly that number is building up. So instead of having maybe $700 by the time we get 30 billion, you might have a $900 or $1,000. Love hearing the stories of people that got crypto and just kind of didn't pay attention to it for 3 years or so. We had a lady who for 3 years, she didn't pay attention. 4,000 became 20 something thousand. We had somebody else that didn't pay attention for a few years, and 2,000 became 60,000. And then somebody else who didn't pay attention for what is it? 8 years, and $113 became $60,000, right? So the one key is they made sure somewhere they had their keywords, not always easy to find, but they had their seed words, and then we were able to get in the wallets and see that they had a fortune sitting there waiting for them, because they just kind of ignored it and did not. I think part of ignoring things is that you don't have the fear of loss or making bad decisions because you ape in or ape out of things. Hopefully everybody has claimed. Yeah, guys, especially if you did not participate in SaFuFi, let's say you missed the launch or you haven't bought them. If you have True Badger tokens, you can help the project. How do you help it? By going and claiming your SaFuFi tokens. Why? Because that adds another token holder to the category. If somebody goes in and says, oh, let me go see how many token holders there are. Oh, wow, there's 3,500 token holders instead of 2,500. So we have, at the time of when it went, we had like 8,000 True Badger holders. So there should be several thousand people that had enough in their wallet. Some people maybe don't have enough yet, that have enough to go claim those tokens. So if you do, yeah, please go claim your SaFuFi tokens. They're not doing us any good sitting there. I can't spend them. They're not mine. They're yours. So yes, go claim them, get them in your wallet, especially if you do not have any SaFuFi tokens because you did not participate in that. All right. And I think that's it, buddy.
I think that's it. Thank you so much, Peter. And thank you guys for joining us today, for your time, your energy, your patience, your excitement, your passion. All right, guys, we'll see you on, if you're going to the Digi Saturday morning, be there. And we are excited for what we have. All right.